in the general channel of Okaloosa Focus Training Team. And this notebook it's like your manual. It's the manual that has all the information about everything related to being a gradebook manager and to accessing the first 4 topics in Focus. So I'm going to walk you through some of that. And I know not everybody is really up on Teams, but it's really the best format for me to send you information rather than sending you 500 emails. This is going to be much more efficient, and it will keep your Outlook box from getting too full. So when I click on the staff notebook, what channel am I in? General channel. Your brain's going to tell you to go to the Gradebook Manager channel. And when you go there, you aren't going to see the staff notebooks. I don't want anybody to get lost. Here's Gradebook Manager, and there's no notebook up here. So if you don't see it, go back to General. Here's what the staff notebook looks like. This manual is not just for gradebook managers. It's for registrars, schedulers. It's for all different departments in Okaloosa schools. So that's why I need to show you around. So here we are. You see the bookcase up here? That's how you get into the table of contents. I have a million things on the left. I actually have a little section for each one of you, and this is where you would turn in things. But your information is right here, Gradebook Manager, and it's under the Content Library. If you see Content Library, you can go ahead and click on it, and then see Registrars, Schedulers, Gradebook Managers. And if you click on Gradebook Manager, these are the pages that relate to Gradebook Managers. And you'll notice there's a lot of Gradebook Manager information. The first thing in here says Training Timeline. And I'm going to click on the space and it will expand the screen. Attending the initial Gradebook Manager training is what you're doing today, and you'll get 4 hours of credit in your frontline training for being here today. And today is paid. If you didn't know that, yay! It's not part of your stipend. So you will get additional monies. Not a lot, but you'll get additional monies for being here today. The second thing up here, notice this right here. It says offer a teacher training at your school during the month of July for interested teachers. So before you worry, just take a deep breath. It'll be okay. If you're going to Hawaii, yay, I'm happy for you. Go to Hawaii. Go have fun. If you could talk to the other gradebook managers before you leave and just say, hey, is there somebody who's happy to go ahead and offer this training in July? We just want at least one training to happen at each school site. This is coming from Steve Horton. He wanted to be able to let teachers touch base with their actual gradebook managers over the summer if they wanted to attend an optional training. So if 5 people show up, yay! You did your job. You did great. You don't have to recruit anybody. You don't have to get anybody there. You will have to set it up in Frontline so teachers can sign up. And we are advertising this training on the Okaloosa Schools webpage. It says okaloosaschools.com/focus. And there's a big calendar. And when you click on that, you'll see the gradebook trainings for teachers that are currently scheduled for all the different schools in Okaloosa County. In addition, I'm doing 8 trainings. I'm doing 6 of them here, and I'm doing 2 down at the central, is it the boardroom or training facility area? Is the boardroom? Yeah. I'll be down there on July 26th. So those trainings are also listed on that schedule. And if you're the person and you're like, I'm okay with doing this, talk to your admin. Say, we need to do this training. Is there a place? Is there a time? Work with them, because they're probably stripping floors and who knows what all they're doing. And if they cannot schedule a training, that's okay. We just want to try to offer it if we can. Everyone in the district will have the option for training on August the 8th. There will be 2 tracks. There'll be the track for the people who were in Hawaii and didn't come to a training and couldn't care less, because guess what? They're trying to rest. They're trying to rest up. And I've been a teacher for 30 years. I know exactly what that feels like. So that's okay. There'll be a track for them. And then there will be a track for those who have or who come during the summer and get the training from you or from me. And there'll be more information about that. We're creating it as we go. There'll be a workshop that I will send you a copy of, and you can create, or not you, because you all are not the PD people necessarily at your school. But I'll create it, I'll send it to you, and you give it to the PD person at your school so they can set that up. Any questions about all that? Yes, ma'am.
Do teachers that come to the training that we give at our school get in-service hours?
If you get that PD person to write up that workshop, yes. And if they come, do they get paid?
That would be a
Teachers?
question for their admin. My understanding is that they come in July, they will.
Yes, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
If teachers come for optional training in July
Yes.
for a gradebook, focused gradebook, then they will get paid for those 3 hours,
And
up to 3
all
hours.
teachers are going to be getting what we call a postcard. They're going to get a postcard that's going to talk about this a little bit. It's a little small postcard. It's going to have a link to the site where they can go and see all of the different trainings. We would prefer if they went to their school to be trained, because you're the person that's going to be helping them out, and they need to get used to asking you those questions, as opposed to getting frustrated and asking their neighbor and maybe not getting the right information. But they can always do one of our trainings that we've got here in the tech lab or at Central.
It's a huge notebook. So it's building your section of the notebook. And what's kind of cool about that is you can go in and write in that section of the notebook by your name, and only you can see it and me. Everybody else doesn't see anything you put in there. So that is the ideal spot for you to upload that plan for your school. So once you've got it figured out, and I would definitely say talk to your admin, because sometimes they want to be involved in who is going to be the gradebook manager for whoever. So once you have that figured out, the school-wide master training plan, that's a wonderful name. I had a hard time coming up with the name. It's like, I want the master plan. Yes. So this one-page list of all the gradebook managers in the school and the names of the teachers they're responsible to train, you could upload that into your section of the notebook. And I would have it, rather than having to open 150 emails just on that one piece. And of course, I will open the email if you have trouble. But it would be much better if you would just upload it into your section of the notebook. I would like to have the master plan figured out by August the 5th, just so we have it ready to roll. And if it doesn't get to me until August the 31st, I am okay. Okay? So goal is have it early. 31st is the absolute last date. And again, if your school hasn't turned in one, then Titan Teleforce is probably not going to be available for you, except for your names. I will send them your names, but they won't be able to help your teachers if they call in.
Some of you may not have used ClassLink in a while, or you may have. If you ever get one that says to get 2 little boxes that says to please enter your password twice, here's why you do that.
Yes.
You can hit cancel, and yes, it'll let you in. Eventually, it will disconnect you from your Microsoft and your Google accounts, because those are safeguards so that Microsoft and Google know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep hitting cancel, the same thing with your students, because they're going to get it when they start the year, it will not connect them eventually to all of their programs. So just a thing, if you've done that many times, that's fine, but eventually it will disconnect you from your profile.
Okay, so the plan is a graduated rollout of Focus. We've got information from, 30, 40 departments that has been going into AS400 for 40 years, and we are just now converting all that information into Focus. Focus is not like a standalone thing and we fit to it. No, we've been working and in talks with Focus since, I remember, September of last year, working on integrating all that information, all those departments, and making it appropriate for Okaloosa County. So all of the pieces are not fully in place yet, and we are working as fast as we possibly can every single day to make this happen. So to that end, we haven't figured everything out. So So our focus team is broad, and the work that they're doing is really intense right now, so I can't give you the answer to every single question. So are we ready to get started? Did everybody go through class link to access Focus? All right. Focus will be available at home as well, just like it is at school. And you can access it, from home. All right, so that was getting in, and that is a major goal. You're going to help your teachers get in to Focus and help them find help if they can't get in. That's one of our first and most important goals. Second, since today is in the training room, we're going to be using the app icon in ClassLink that looks like a little superhero owl with a cape on, and it says training. Okay, our goals, as I said, it was a graduated rollout. Our goal for today's training is for teachers and for you to feel comfortable accessing what we're calling the first 4 topics. We want them to know how to get in and navigate around and Focus. Then we're going to tell them ways to take attendance and what all the information about taking attendance. And then we're going to talk about discipline. And if the student's acting up in class and it's a really important thing for admin to address, and if it's not a really important thing but you want to document it. So we'll have discipline, and then we'll talk about gradebook, how to set up your gradebook, and also how to do assignments in your gradebook. And those are the main goals that you're going to be addressing with your teachers. And we want you to feel comfortable with those things. This graduated release is going to work this way. You're getting the first 4 today, and then I'm going to have a meeting every month in Teams. You can attend or not attend. The information will be posted in Teams, and I'll host an hour, 3 days of each month where you can come in and ask questions. I could demo something for you if you would like. I'll try to record those meetings, and they will be also in the Gradebook Manager section of the team. They won't be in general, they'll be in the Gradebook Manager section. And the nice thing is when I do a meeting in there, I'll start that meeting, and if you go into Teams, into the Gradebook Manager area, you'll see a big blue ribbon across it and the word Join. And you click that big blue ribbon with Join. Don't go up in the top and click on the little camera that's up here. Don't do that one, because that starts a meeting. And you'll be starting a meeting while I'm having a meeting, and we'll be missing our meetings. Okay, big blue ribbon and Join. And that's for Gradebook Managers. I'll do it one in September, October, November, December. Our workshop, your 24 recertification points, ends January the 13th. That's when you will get your 24 points for your workshop. Your teacher workshop, if you do July, is going to end no later than the end of September. They'll attend the training that you give them, and then we want them to connect with their Gradebook Manager. Once they've had some kind of training with their Gradebook Manager, and it could be August the 8th, or it could be later if they're off in Hawaii still and they didn't make it back. Once they've met with their Gradebook Manager, there's a QR code, and they will do a survey and submit that QR code, go to Frontline, do their workshop in Frontline, their survey in Frontline, and they'll be done and they'll get their points for the July training. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do with the team here. I've shown you the first part of the table of contents. We looked at the timeline. If your PD person is going to write up this July workshop, that's the second one here. And I've just done it as an example, okay? It's not, perfect and finished. They may need to adjust things. Don't just copy it. But it looks like this. Has all the information that your site-based, professional development person will need to do it. Notice this date. You will need to change this date for the date of your July training, and the location. And you'll put in your follow-up date. I know that's really long, September 30th. You don't need to make it that long. That's just a giant window so they have enough time to connect with their Gradebook Manager. They really need to connect by the end of August, don't you think? Don't you think that would be better? So your dates will be different than this. Your location will be different than this. All right, August goals and handouts. These are handouts for you to use and for your teachers. These are okay to give to them. And this note page that I gave you all, that everybody has one, oh, here it is. Your note page is also here, note-taking handout. If you want to share that with your staff, you can open it up, print it out, and hand it out if you want to. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm clicked on navigation. In the and it will show up like this. It's got pictures and step-by-step information on here. And if you wanted to print it, you just go to File. It's a Word document, and you would click Print and print it. That's how you access these things in Teams. All of these are links to step-by-steps and nice, quick handouts for your teachers and yourself to use. Now I'm going to go back to the table of contents. I want you to notice it says untitled page, and I don't know why it's not giving me the title. These are navigation videos, and this blue link is the only one that works. It takes you directly to the Focus University training site. I just put them in here in case you need to find them, and I wanted to show you what that would look like. Teacher navigation, that's what our topic is. And this little drop down shows you the different videos that we have. How to use the NAV portal page, how to set preferences, the NAV student search, and how to do student screens. So when you click on it, this one's 16 minutes, this one's 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes. So that's kind of how it gets you around in that. I have all the videos on separate pages depending on what you need to use. And you don't have to show all of these. If you showed these all to your people, they would, probably want to run screaming out of the room. So this is selected resources as you need them. You decide what needs to be shared so that your teachers can do those 4 things. You're getting a double dose of what they're getting. So when you want to go back and look at more, you have access to it. Your teachers have access to these same videos in the Focus website. You just have them all in a different location if you want it. Attendance videos. These are all the videos all about taking attendance, the attendance chart, the absence summary. So you see how it works? Everybody's okay with that? Videos about discipline. There's 4 of them. And then gradebook. I have a separate table of contents for gradebook. Please do not just send out links. It's too much information. This same set of videos is available in the Focus website for your teachers. All right, this right here, the Complete Teacher Manual, this is for your use only. This is the in-depth manual, 110 pages long. Please don't print it out. You aren't going to need it or refer to it. If you try to email this to your teachers, it's going to shut down our Wi-Fi. It's too big. It's too much information. But you can refer to it, print a page or 2 out of it if you need it, if somebody has a particular question. Here is your hard copy kind of a resource that you can use for that. And again, when we get into gradebook, I've broken down the videos by section. They're all right here in the gradebook table of contents. I just broke them down separately. If you just want to talk about basic gradebook information, the settings videos, category videos, all that information is here. I do want to draw your attention to this. Gradebook Kindergarten Tap. How many of you have kindergarten teachers at your school that you might potentially be the gradebook manager for? Just raise your hand up. A lot of people. So gradebook for kindergarten teachers is a little bit different than it is for everybody else. And they have a different grading scale. And there's like just a couple things that I'm going to want you to pay really close attention to for them. And if you don't have any kindergarten teachers at your school, then that won't apply. But if you do, you can open this up and you could print this page out, and they will be able to see the little bit of information that's special to them. And it's only 2 pages. So So that's not a bad thing to hand to them. I think if I was in your shoes, I would hand this to the kindergarten teachers as well. All right. Now I have 2 surveys here. One says GBM Gradebook Manager QR code, and one says Teacher Survey QR code. Don't get them mixed up. The Teacher Survey code is for me to know that the teachers met with their gradebook manager. So when the gradebook manager trains your teachers, then the teachers will complete this QR code survey. And that will come directly to me, and I'll know that they met with their gradebook manager, and I can give them their points for that training in July. And I can get feedback if training didn't go well or whatever. Yes,
I
ma'am?
have a couple of teachers who do not have smartphones.
And that's okay because, where did I put it? I didn't put it here. I'll find it. There is a link for them,
Okay.
and you'll just copy the link and email it to them, and they can do it on their machine. Yeah, not everybody has smartphones, and it's not necessary to have it. But if you have a smartphone, the way that you do it is you go to camera, and when I pull up the QR code, y'all don't do this one because it'll come right to me once you do it. So they just kind of aim it, the camera, at the QR code. It'll come up, it's telling me, you're too far away. So I get a little closer, and now it's got this yellow box around the little black square, and there's a thing that comes up, and when I tap on it, it brings the survey directly up on my phone. If you don't have a smartphone, you can just use the link and email it to them. Okay? That's like their follow-up piece from the meeting in July. But you all, when you are done today, you have the GBM QR code. And it looks similar. It's the same idea. And if you have a smartphone, you'll be able to do this. And if you don't, I'll just post that link in the team, and you'll be able to go highlight it, access it on your computer, and do the survey. They can use the same QR code every time you meet with them if you want to, because there's no point in like giving you a different one for each month. I just want them to meet with you. I just want them to be able to say, did I know what I was supposed to learn? Did I get it? Do I have any other questions? Really, that's all I'm looking for, to make sure their needs are met. Okay, that's the team. We've looked at the notebook. We know how to find the table of contents. We know how to find gradebook managers. I could click, I'm gonna borrow Carmen's here. So she has one section in her notebook, it's called My Notes. And when she opens it up, it's entirely blank. So all she has to do, the line at the top is the title. So here is, my gradebook manager teachers. And she could give me a list of her gradebook manager teachers. Just type it in, and as soon as she closes it, it's in there, and I'll be able to see it. So it's a little area that you can do stuff. If you have this page, and your teachers sign, names are here, and they sign when they do that July training with you, and you have all that information, you can use your phone to take a picture of this, and you can upload it right there into the team notebook, your notebook of the team, and I can see, oh, that gradebook manager already did her July training, and here it is. So why am I giving you a hard copy of this when you can upload it there? 2 reasons. One is put your teachers' names if they come to that July training, have them sign their name next to it. That's how they get paid. Their signature by their name saying they came to a July training. This paper, you take a picture, you upload in the team, and I'm excited because I see that you did a July training or whatever training you do. Whatever trainings you do, you can just copy this page and upload it every time you do a training with your teachers. But the hard copy needs to go to your bookkeeper in July. That's going to get your teachers paid for that time. So like I said, the line is the title, and clicking in the space lets you type, right in here on the note. Or if you decide to use insert, then it will say, oh, a file, what? A link, and you just hit it, insert your file. Okay, so that is how to use everything Teams, how to do your trainings in Teams, how to access your resources in Teams. Big question. Do you write this thing up in Frontline? You personally don't, but should it be put in frontline? I am not writing those frontline trainings up, okay? Your PD person is, so should you hand them the resources? Yes, hand them the resources and get that written up. The reason I'm asking is some schools are having 2 July trainings or 3 July trainings. And if they have 3, they need to write up 3 workshops, the PD person. If you don't have somebody, I'll do it. I'm happy to help.
We do.
I just don't want to do everybody's.
Yeah.
I understand.
Ours retired. So we just
It happens. It's okay. You can contact me. Anything else? Okay, we're moving on, and now we're going to jump into focus. Yay! All right, so I'm going to close. I'm going to leave my team. I'm going to the focus landing page. Again, everybody signs into their computer. They go and they find the Focus app right down here. That this is the training app. That's what you use in July. And whenever it goes real, Focus Employee is the real site. Anything you do in Focus Employee is actually affecting your children for this year. Be very careful. Explain that to people. When you're in the training site, it's nice to see the difference. You see this little logo that says training in the top. And if you don't see that training thing, the stuff you're doing is real. So you want to make note of that to your teachers. Also, this little icon right behind training, this is the magic home button. And when you need to get back to the home screen in Focus, you just click on this button and you saw it refresh. And so I'm on the landing screen right now. My first thing to do is to show you how to get around in the Focus training and other site, and some things to watch out for. Let's look across the top. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see my profile that I'm using right now says Gradebook Manager 1. It will say your name. That's what it will say, your name. I'm using an anonymous site today because I didn't have students last year. Next, it will say the school that you're in, and then it will say the year that you're in. This is very important. Remember the year thing where she said when you're in the regular site, when they go live, it'll be the 22-23. Watch what happens if you're in the wrong year. I'm just going to do this on purpose. It went red. If you see red, you are not in the correct year. And your teachers are going to accidentally click on the wrong year, and you need to be ready to tell them and show them just you need to switch to the right year. So if I go to 2021, it's still red. The only one that's not red is the right year. So let me go to the right year. And again, this data is from last year, and that's why it says 21-22. Everybody good with that? Then you can choose the quarter that you're in. So if you want to access the students and the grades and the attendance and the discipline, you need to make sure you're in the right quarter. And then finally, right here is a list of the classes that are assigned to you. In the past, it was done by AS400, pause. And now you're going to see like the official name of the different classes right here in the top right corner. I only have one class because I'm a pretend class today. And you all will have the classes that you had last year. Are you clicking in that now and trying those things? Feel free to do that. So we want them to know the difference between the training site and the real site. We want them to know when they're in the right year. If they see red, how to get out of it and how to select stuff up here. Now look at the top ribbon. Everybody sees this? I want you to see that this one right here, school information, is bold. Do you see how it's a little bit bolder than all the others? Yes, admin, I don't know why everybody has admin, but maybe that's what they're calling the Gradebook Manager's access. So if you are on teacher, it should look the same as mine. Everybody good? All right, notice this is bold. The reason it is bold is I am actually in the school information tab. That's how I know what tab I'm in. And when I click on it, there it says portal, school information. So if I want to go to the portal, I click it and I'm there. If I click on students, notice that the student tab is going to go bold. Come on, there it is. Now the student tab is bold, and I selected student info from that tab. See, there it is, student info. And the name is up here next to the portal home button. That's how you know where you are and you don't get lost. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if you are in attendance, notice the drop down for attendance, and I'm just going to pick attendance or absence summary. Whatever I pick, that name will go up here, and the tab that I found it under will now be bold. That's really important to not lose your way at first. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my school information. And you can see here, I've got all my school information listed here. I can print it if I want to. Notice the print buttons over here on the side. Anytime you see a print icon, they're going to be either on the right at the top, they'll be on the left, like some little dinky tiny icon. You'll have to look for it. Or you'll actually see the words at the bottom of the page where it says print. Anything with a blue link means you can change it. And if it's black or red or anything like that, you can't change any of that. So that's that top ribbon. And if you just take a second and just click in the boxes and look at some of the things that you see in each of the menus that drop down, and pick something and just notice how the tab gets bold and the title of the selection goes at the top of the page. Just pick one or two of these. And when you're done looking at some of those things, I would like you to go back to the portal top left homepage. I'm going to go back to my portal landing page. So what I want to do now, let's all go back to the portal landing page and let's look at this landing page. We're going to go below the top ribbon. This area in yellow says alerts. This is probably your most important area that you'll go to. Every morning you want to look at this. Things, you see they have blue links up in here. It's going to tell you the things you need to take care of right away. Y'all okay with that part? Alerts, very, very important. If you have not taken attendance for that day, it will show up in alerts. If a discipline report went in and the principal asked you to do more information on it, that's going to show up in alerts. So look at alerts first thing. Okay, right here, district and school announcements, there are no messages. Notice Focus University is right here. It will be here for your teachers too. So if they want to watch any of those videos, encourage them. You know, you want to learn about something, go in here to Focus University. You can look at the video tutorials. I've looked at the help and training documents. The videos I like, these I'm not real wild about. So they do have all of that. Now down here, find a student. This is heavy use. You will use it, your students, your teachers will use it as well. If they need to find a student, they can type in this box the student's name, the student's initials, or, my favorite one, just click in the box. See right there where it says search? If I click in the box and I click search, it will give me a list of everybody that's in this class. See right there? I can search all my sections, so it would be all the students that I teach. I'm going to do that. Search all sections, hit search, and there it is. It just brought up all my students. So when you want to see the students in a class, or you want information about your students, and you want to search, go ahead and do that. Now let's look at some of the features in the student search area. I have a link under this student's name. What do you think is going to happen if I click that link? I'll get information about that student. What about the little silhouette picture? It will have their picture and it is coming. It is coming. Notice next to the picture there's a little drop arrow. You'll see this picture with the drop arrow in several screens. And look what it does. This is very handy. That little drop arrow gives you a list of specific things about that student. Their demographics, their schedule, grades. If you want to add a referral for that student, this would be the place that you'd go to do it. Their test history, what's their enrollment, absences, and graduation requirements. That really doesn't apply to you all. But it's there. That's where you can find things like that. You'll also see their student number and their grade. I have a wide variety in my little test class, so that's why mine looks kind of weird. All right, so how do I get back to that search page? The icon at the top, I can do it there. There I am. And now this time, I'm just clicking in the box and I'm going to hit search without saying search all my sections. I only have one section, so now I have one class. Look at the bottom. I could print it. But I want you to remember that you really don't want to put student IDs out there, so be very careful if you choose to print something here. All right. Now, what screen am I in? I'm in, up here at the top it says I'm in the student info screen, and students is highlighted. See how that's bigger? Or bolded, I should say. All right, let's look at the different things that you can find out on a student. I'm going to click on a name. You see the icons we have up here? There is a bus icon, and that tells me that student is a bus rider. If they're a walker, there'll be this little walking person. If there's a car rider, it will have a little car picture up there. So you will know how your kids go home the first day of school. If I click on that, I don't think it does a whole lot. So here it is, bus number and AM. It tells me what bus number they're on. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Hey, do I need to print this for the parent? You know, they come in and they want to know, I need to see this. Well, you have that ability. So I want to go back. Here is a list of all the icons that we have. A red folder, you'll know the student is ESE. Yellow folder, have a 504. ELL. Peanut, the peanut means allergies, but it might not just be peanut allergy. So if you see a little peanut, found a peanut, found a peanut. Oh man, it's bad. Click on that and you will find out that tells you that they have some kind of an allergy you need to be aware of. A medical alert. Okay, so this one that has a red dot with an exclamation point in it is about, there's something required for you to read before you contact their parent.
Yep.
And you can imagine what that might be.
There's something going on.
There's something.
And we need you to be able to talk to us before you talk to them. It might be in your
Yes.
best interest.
A very important read. That's what that
We'll
means.
see that very often.
Yeah. The AD stands for assistive device. So if the student has an assistive device that they need to have with them, that is going to tell you about that. The beach ball means that is an after-school care person. There is a notes icon, and I don't know how that differs from that. Can you tell me how that differs?
The difference between notes and that is severity.
Okay.
The notes icon is there for just general information.
Okay.
Something
Okay.
that you, like, a place to put in the notes icon might be the divorce schedule. Probably where that information is going to go.
And then the three over here, green is they have an MTSS folder or PMP situation. And then we have one that says handle with care. It has a heart and a hand, and it just means, you know, be extra sensitive to this student. And I don't know why, but it's there. Yes, ma'am.
For the notes, when you said like divorce schedule, is that something that the teacher then can add?
That information is not added by the teacher.
There's a field in there that once you put something in that field, it flags that icon and shows up for the teacher. Because one of the things I was not expected to be cleared to add was that very last pink folder. So the first pink folder just means that the child is receiving some type of mental health services.
Mm-hmm.
So that could mean 1,000 different things for 1,000 different reasons. But the second one, that little hand with a heart over it, that means that child has a trigger. And the ESE added that. I didn't think we could do that. So that means that that's a particular child, and honestly, I don't expect you'll see this unless you're in an ESE classroom. That's what that's about.
So this list
Limited on what's there.
of icons is created by Okaloosa Schools. That's why it's in the team and not a list somewhere in Focus. So if you need to access this and share this with your teachers, that's the only spot I know that has all the icons on the same spot with the titles of what they are. So I'm going to go back to my focus area now. So I was in a student. Have you taken a moment to look at some of your students and see what kind of folders they have or symbols they have? Okay, super. All right, notice down the left side, these are the fields that are available when you are searching a particular student. I'm in Carolyn Aaron's file here. I got there, remember, by clicking that down icon. I went to her transportation site. But these are all the things I can see. I can see her address, right there, address and contacts. Notice it will tell me the mother, the work phone, it's okay to view this person. And there's a lot of icons in here. What about these icons? We have a little gavel. What do you suppose that means?
Mom has custody, maybe?
There's some kind of a custody thing. You might want to click to view it. I'll click it, and it's gonna, there isn't, I guess there is information in here, but it will tell me more about that. I can come back, and there's a little car, so yep, car rider, and I will have phone. Mom has custody. This is a pickup kid in the car. This is the enrolling parent, and I can see the priority for this one is number 1. This is the most important contact the student has. So it looks like 11. That's our enrolling parent.
1, 1, and then
1, 2.
Parent.
And then over here we have contact 31, contact 32 and 33. Contact priority is a 4 for this person and a 5 for this person. So that's the order if you need to call. You know, this is your order for how you need to call. They give you that. And it does identify if it's a grandmother. So that's your address and contact. Your application courses. That doesn't apply. Classified information. Student ID number. Are they an ELL student? It will give you information. Are they an ESE student with a 504? That will also give you information here. This student is gifted. If there are accommodations for ESE, that information will be in here. Testing accommodations, classroom accommodations, assessment accommodations. Enrollment information shows up here, what schools they've been at in the different years, the different school years. If you click on general, this is like the general screen about that student, including their birthday. And notice right here, this is really important. Notice in the General tab here that you have the student's email address and their password. Now, I know, and you know, that you don't want to open every single student's thing and then copy it down. So we asked Focus to fix this for us, and right over here where it says Reports on the top ribbon, click that, and you'll see the One Okaloosa ID. When I click on that button, it gives me my class that I selected up here, student name, email address, and student password, all in one place. Now, where do you find the print button for this page? It's right here. It says print. Remember I told you they're in odd locations? So if it's a screen you think you should be able to print, you're going to need to look in those different locations. I don't know why it's different. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's a little teeny icon over here. And that looks like a little teeny icon, but it doesn't happen to be a print icon. So your teachers are definitely going to want that. I'm going to go back to the student now and finish up this particular thing. All right, would you please go back to your home page, your landing page. I need to show you one other thing. When you find a screen that you really like and you don't want to hunt through the tabs and try to figure out where is that dumb thing, I have trouble with finding those things. I was lost for like the first 3 months trying to figure this out because I didn't know that little trick with what's bold and what's the title say. That's really important. So what you do if you find a page you like, let's say I'm in students and I want to see their progression plan. I don't know why I would, but imagine I would. I can do this little star button at the top and it will favorite the page. If you need to have that One Okaloosa ID favorited, you can favorite the page. How do I find it? Tell me. Go to reports, then what? One Okaloosa ID, and what's it going to give me? The class that's selected. If I need a different class, I got to click the down arrow and switch classes. Now that I have it, how can I favorite it so I don't have to hunt for it? Click the star. How do I find stuff that's been favorited? Good question. Let's go back to the Focus landing page and scroll down. At the bottom is your favorites. Once you've favorited a screen, it will always be on your landing page so you can get there quickly. The recommended ones are going to help you later on in your efforts to do grades or attendance. So we've talked about navigating the page. We've talked about searching for students. We've talked about the information that's available for students. We talked about how to figure out where you are on the ribbon and by the title of the page. We did do a search for a student, right? So if I knew the student's name, I could put the student's name in, right? So I'm going to do Aaron. And when I click, it brings up Carol and Aaron. That's how I search for an individual student. How else can I search in this box? I can do a blank search, and it will bring up all the students in that particular class. And then I could also do a search by initials. I want Carol and Aaron, CA. Click search, and I have Carol and Aaron. Did you see that? So if I have more than one student with the initial CA, then all those students in that particular period that are CA would come up in a list. And I would click on the underline, and it would bring me that student's information. All right, how do I favorite a page?
Click the star.
Click the star, and where do I find favorited pages?
Home page, scroll down.
You guys are fabulous. I'm a teacher, and I want to watch a video. I can't remember anything that my gradebook manager said to me because I was thinking about other things during the training. How do I find out? Focus University. If I click it, I want to see the video tutorials. It brings me to this page, and look at this. There's a ton of stuff. You could get lost trying to find your information. That's why I broke it down and put the links on the team page. Will your teachers be on that same team with you? No, they will not. I can't put all the teachers in the district in a team. I don't want to do that. You are there in a channel. If you need help, you can't get into focus, or your teacher can't get into focus, who do they contact? If they can't get in, everyone can use this email. Focus Help is for access. If they don't know how to do something, that's this one here. That's you. Teachers need to contact you first, and then you can contact Titan Teleforce. How do you get there with an email? Do you know how to do Titan with an email? It is OCSDHD, Okaloosa County School District Help Desk at Okaloosa Schools. OCSDHD. That's Titan Teleforce. That's for you. But again, if it's a busy day and you don't want to wait through that queue, you have the notebook in the team, and you can go through that. Okay.